All right, good evening, Who That Nation. Welcome to the WDN Chatline podcast. This is the host CB, and I'm here with my co-host WD. WD, the NFL Combine is this week, fam. I hope you're excited. How you doing?
Oh man, I'm pretty excited. I'm just excited to see what the Saints are going to do. But as far as the combine and stuff, I'm not trying to exceed expectations as far as just thinking about what they're going to do. Because I mean, they've been letting me down so far. So I'm just here, man. Let's talk about it. Ready to roll. Let's go.
Okay, glad to have you, fam. Who That Nation. I hope you guys are having a fantastic night. Um, far as the past few weeks, we have been off. I did put out something once the Derek Carr news came on, so you guys can check that out. But it's been a little Saints news going on lately, so that will be the discussion tonight. We're going to go over latest Saints news, and like I just mentioned earlier, this week is the NFL Combine. So starting to get closer and closer to the NFL draft. So what we will talk about with the Combine is the QB portion of the Combine, but we'll get more into that later in the show. We want to start with the latest Saints news that's been going on. But before we do that, let's just go ahead and give a shout out to some of the listeners that's already pulling up in the comment section. See, we got our boy Brandon McGowan said, yo, who that? Who that to you, fam? And we got Whitley Jeremiah giving a shout out to the podcast. So yes, Who That Nation, that's how tonight's show is going to go. And then if we got time, we could open up the phone lines and go that route, about your thoughts and opinions on the different QBs we're going to get on. But first off, let's just start with the latest Saints news. The latest Saints news is Tanal. I'm not even going to say his last name. I'm going to just say Passanal. But shout out to Tanal, man. He got a 2-year, $4.5 million deal. I think 2.5 of that is fully guaranteed. So shout out to him. I know WD was really a big fan of his. He definitely been stepping up, man. When his number was called, he definitely showed up. And who knows, man? He could possibly be out there this upcoming season because Davenport could be leaving the Saints via free agency. So shout out to Tanal. WD, you got any thoughts on Tanal?
Oh man, I mean, I would like to have him for more years. I mean, not necessarily as a starter, but as a backup, I feel like he's done pretty well. I mean, he's doing more than Davenport, who had a half a sack this past season. That's really only talking about this past season. But yeah, man, this had to be done. I mean, because when you look at everything else, of course, Cameron Jordan, no telling how long he's going to be here. And besides Davenport, I mean, who we don't know what's to come with him. I mean, you look at the whole D-line as a whole, you can see the same thing about David Ayamada. I'm not sure. I forgot. I don't know if Carl Granderson is a free agent at this moment, but I'm just thinking like you don't want to lose all these guys on the D line. So I mean, at least sign one of them, and I'm okay with that being passing on.
Fair. I think Carl Granderson, he got one more year left. I think he signed a 2-year. He signed a 2-year deal last offseason. So yeah, he'll be back for one more year if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that as well. I mean, just as rotational options, man, can't hate it. Can't hate that move at all.
That's a fact. So, shout out to him once again, and also let's just get into some restructures that has taken place. The most recent one was Ron Ramczyk. He took a pay cut, saved the team $10.3 million. As we know with Ron Ramczyk, he was kind of in and out the lineup with some injuries. I'm not gonna say that he didn't have a good year. He definitely didn't have the type of season that we expected, and injury was I say with him, injury was part of that reasons. But man, he took a restructure, helping the team out to try to get under this salary cap. Like I said, saved the team 10.3 mil. So shout out to Ron Ramchick. Any thoughts on Ramchick, WD? His season in general?
I mean, Ryan Ramchick. I can't really speak on him too much, man, because as he's like you said, he's been pretty much injured. But I don't want to go too far. I mean, still want to keep him. Um, had to do what needed to be done. I really don't have too much to add about Ramchick, man. I just hope he stays healthy because I know when he's healthy, he's one of the best tackles in the game. That's really much. There's not really much more to add to that, honestly.
Facts. So shout out to Ramchick for helping the team out. We also know about Michael Thomas when he restructured near the season, saved the team 14 mil. Also, Marcus May, his restructure saved the team 8.5 mil. The notable ones besides Ramchat was the Honey Badger. He took a pay cut, saved the team 4.6 mil. So it's looking like he's going to be back with the ball club. Um, what's your thoughts on the Badger season? I know he had a career tackles, 91, but what's your takeaway on the Honey Badger season? Did you see some decline in this player? Do you think he still got some juice left?
I still believe he has some juice left. Yet, let's keep it real. I mean, at the age he is, I'm not saying that he's close to being washed, but he was better. Obviously, early in his career, not as good. But look, the first half of the season, I mean, it looked like he made some business decisions. He didn't want to get his hands dirty. Remember, he didn't really show up at camp until late, before the preseason started, I think. So, yeah, I mean, I felt like that. He was even admitting that guys wasn't lining up in proper places. Seemed like it seemed like he took some business decisions. Didn't want to tackle early on, but late in the season, he looked real good, man. I mean, he looked at he showed some flashes of that old Honey Badger that we all know of. I mean, he had 3 interceptions. Like you said, this was the most tackles he had in his whole career. Yeah, I think I still believe he has some juice left. Now I know for a fact that we'll probably be looking at the safety position. I mean, because Marcus May, we know he got some troubles coming to headed for him, and I mean Matthew is not getting any younger. I mean, so he's more so the back of his career than anything. So yeah, I mean, I'm fine. Look, I'm fine with Tyrann Mathieu, man. I get that a lot of Saints fans, he left a bad taste in their mouths, especially the first half of the season. But he looked pretty damn decent the second half. So can't take that away from him. I expect him to take off where he left off.
Yeah, that's a fact. I mean, he came into a new defense. I honestly, I wasn't impressed with his first few weeks, but then, as the season progressed, he started getting more and more acclimated. I didn't know if, he was starting to show signs of decline or what, but as you can see, once he started getting more and more acclimated with the defense and the people around him, that, he still got some juice left. So hopefully that continues going into this season. Shout out to the Honey Badger. And 2 more people that restructured their deals, then we can get into this combine talk. 2 people that restructured their deals was Will Lutz and Eric McCoy. Um, Will Lutz, I want to get thoughts on him. He definitely has. I'm not gonna say he's shown decline. Um, he definitely hadn't been performing well. I say that. Far say he's declining. I'm not gonna get to that stage yet, but this past season definitely was not impressive. It wasn't impressive. I don't know if that abdominal surgery that kept him out all season, the prior. I don't know if that's done, done had some type of hindrance in his kits. I don't know, but last year definitely wasn't it for him. And I believe with this deal, I believe he's earning 1.5 mil or something like that. I know that it's saving the team 1.5 mil, but the way he restructured it, they changed his contract up, so it's kind of like he got to play well to earn the incentives that was originally on his last deal that he's supposed to get this year. I think he can earn up to the 5 mil that he originally had on this deal, but as of right now, it's not that. So I think his base is gonna be like 1.5 something around there, but he gotta earn the rest of that. So it's kind of like you prove us that you can still give us some good kits, and then you earn your salary. So I'm expecting him to turn it around. I'm not gonna write him off just yet, but yeah, definitely underperformed in this past season. But know that he does got a strong kick though. Got a strong foot. Made some 60. I think he made a 63-yarder for us. So he definitely showed some flashes that he can still be like that. But he was also shanking some 25, 30-yard field goals, missing a few extra points. So we definitely can't have that. But you got any thoughts on Will Lutz?
Well, my only thought on Will Lutz is he got to get it together, or he won't be a Saint no longer than this season. So that's pretty much all I got to say, man. You either make the field goals or you don't. It's simple.
Facts. And far as McCoy saved the team 8.5 mil with his restructure. So yeah, man, just shout out to everybody that had these restructures. I know McCoy, he went out a good portion of the season with an injury. Our offensive line was banged up a lot this year. So we'll say one noticeable player that hasn't restructured yet, or I don't know if they're gonna restructure his deal, is Andrews Pete. I don't know if they at the point to where they gonna trade him or cut him. I think it's at that point with Andrews Pete now, because I did see something about DA meeting with an offensive line college scout. I forgot the player's name. I'm not sure if that player is a high grade offensive lineman, but I did see that. I don't know who wrote the article or anything, but I seen that today that he met with an offensive lineman. So I don't know where their minds is at going into this draft as far as the offensive line. Trevor Penning gonna be on the line. Trevor Penning, McCoy, Ramchick, Ruiz, and then I don't know about Pete. I don't know if they're gonna bring Pete back or not. Well, we shall see. But it's interesting. His name definitely wasn't on the list as of yet for a pay cut or restructure. That is. So, like I said, man, we know Mickey gonna get this thing under the cap. But once things get under the cap, hopefully great decisions is made by him, which lead us into what I want to get on tonight. We're going to be discussing the QB prospects, the top 5 QB prospects. Like I said earlier in the show, the NFL Combine is this weekend. But a few weeks ago, we had brought in Derek Carr. We brought in Derek Carr for a visit. So that tells me that QB is the first area that they're looking at, trying to get us a QB. My opinion, I'm not getting into Derek Carr talk no more. I just want to say this, and then we can get into this. You all know his asking price is at least 35 mil. I don't want to get that man that, and I'm not saying that he not like that or he still got the juice. I don't think we should pay a Derek Carr that type of money. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. That's just my personal opinion on that. I'm still kind of skeptical on why the offense really wasn't shaking like that with the pieces he had out there. Like I said, I know some people was injured and stuff, but that still kind of rings around my mind why he wasn't lighting it up out there at that time. But I personally think that we should go QB in the draft with our first pick. That's what I honestly think. I don't know what WD is thinking, but that's what I think. I think we should bring in a veteran QB. I mean, I know as far as the team as a whole, we still got some players on the team that can make us competitors for the playoffs. And I think we still can get it done if we bring in a new QB, whether we set him and let a vet play, minus Andy Dalton. I ain't talking about Andy Dalton. Uh, but a player that's kind of like in a proven situation. Jameis would be the great answer, but I believe he's leaving. But what it is bringing, having a vet, lead the charge for this first year and see what we can do then, and then let the QB take over there or the QB come in right away and play. But that's just what I think. I think as far as the QB route, we got to get the next thing for the franchise QB for the future. That's what I honestly think. But that's just where I'm at with that. WD, before we get started with these prospects, I mean, what is your view on QB? You think we should draft a QB first, or later in the draft, or I mean, what's your thoughts? You think we need to try to go out after one of these top QBs, or just go with one of these list of better free agents that's available?
Well, if we talking about the top quarterbacks in this draft, I mean, how are the Saints going to do that? I don't know. I mean, I guess Loomis is going to say YOLO and then let's do it. I just don't see that happening. I stand with Hooker. I understand. He got his injuries and stuff like that. But I feel like if we remain at 29, maybe if you trade back, or maybe you just wait. Like maybe Hooker is going to be there in the second round or the third round. I don't know. Go with him. But I'm right there with you as far as getting a vet and drafting a QB. I feel like this is the time they need to draft a QB. Go all out on the QB. I mean, like I said, at what cost? What cost will it take for us to go that high and get one of those guys? I just don't see it happening. I mean, I don't. Lord knows, I mean, I'll take either CJ or Bryce, definitely, better than Andy Dalton. I'll say that. So
that's a fact. Okay, so who that nation? What we're going to do right now, we're going to I got 7 QB draft prospects. Far as the rank, SI.com rank these guys far as the top QBs in this draft. I just picked 7 of them because, like I said, I think at 29 we should go that route. Or if he decides to move up, I don't know, what way Mickey is thinking. But I'm going to go through the list of QBs, and note, you're going to see C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young. We already know those guys are going in the top lottery picks, first 5 to 10 pick. But I'm still just talk about them because you never know. You never know what Mickey might try to do. I don't know. Even if it's a 5% chance that he may try to swing for those guys. You see Chicago, they trying to trade that number 1 pick, or it's rumors about it. We don't know what they're gonna do, but we will see. But I'm still gonna bring those guys up. So let's just go ahead and get started. Like I said, a few of these guys y'all already know, if not all of them. But we're gonna start with C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud, quarterback out of Ohio State. He was a 2-time Heisman finalist. Dynamic QB. He can run and pass. 6'3", 218. His stats last season, he threw for 3,688 passing yards, 41 total TDs, 6 interceptions, and his QBR was 125.6. If you guys watch, the playoffs, y'all seen what type of quarter. If y'all ain't seen nothing else from Bryce Young this season, if y'all watch that playoff game versus Georgia, y'all already know what type of QB Bryce Young can be. So, man, shout out to I say Bryce Young, excuse me, CJ Stroud. But shout out to CJ Stroud, man. I highly doubt we're going to get this guy, but he's one of the top QBs. In my opinion, he's the top QB in the draft. But yeah, shout out to CJ Stroud. You got any thoughts on CJ Stroud?
All I gotta see is Ohio State has done this team so great. So I mean, if there's a dream, if there's a way to get them, then let's do it, man. I'm all for it. That's pretty much all I got. I just don't want to get my hopes up on it.
Okay, so the next player is going to be Bryce Young. Bryce Young for Alabama. WD, you want to elaborate on him?
Yeah, I guess I can, man. Yeah, man, 6'3", 218 pounds. He had 3,688 yards, 41 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Man, I'm sorry, I'm sitting up here. My bad, y'all. I'm reading CJ Stroud. My bad. My bad. Let me rewind that. 6 foot, 194 pounds, 3,328 yards, 36 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, a QBR of 114.9. 2021 Heisman winner, very accurate, great arm strength. Size only negative. The size is only his negative so far. But I mean, man, look, at this point, man, I'm desperate for a QB, man. I know it's probably not going to happen. I feel like he's going to be long gone. I don't see Saints trading up. It's a dream, though. It is what it is. I mean, I would more so be happy about them trading up next year. But let's keep it real. Nobody for that quarterback kill, man. Next year, man, nobody is not about to give that dude up, man. Whoever has the sole possession of the first overall pick, we know better than that. I'll take Bryce Young, man. That's just how, I think he's going to be a decent QB. Better than Andy Dalton. I'll say it again. Maybe better than Jameis Winston. So I'll take him. Will it happen? I don't know, man. I doubt it. But let's just see.
Facts. And I just got news today. I seen that CJ Stroud from Ohio State, he will throw at the combine, and Bryce Young will not throw at the combine. So Bryce Young, I think the Texans was real high on him, wanting to look at him. I think the Texans got the 3rd pick in the draft, if I'm not mistaken. But the next guy is Will Levis out of Kentucky. Will Levis out of Kentucky, 6'3", 232 pounds. His stats was 2,406 passing yards, 21 TDs, 10 interceptions, had a 99.6 QBR rating. And and what we're given, this is the scouting report off of draftnetwork.com. A few of these guys I still hadn't done my own personal evaluation, because we all know that when it comes to these evaluations, some are going to be on, some is, that happens year in and year out. As you can see with Jalen Hurts, some few doubters on him. Some was at a point where he was even the Eagles' outside quarterback. And then look what was going on this past season. He was playing in the Super Bowl, balling in the Super Bowl, better yet. So, like I said, I'm reading the scout report on draft from draftnetwork.com, but I mean, some we can take with a grain of salt. Some you can take unless you don't seen them. The person play yourself. I mean, you can kind of get your own evaluation. Some things stand out, some things don't. With this Will Levis guy, this has been an interesting player that I've been seeing. When when the scouts and the rankings first came out with the QBs, this guy was projected to go in the later rounds. But as of recent, this guy has climbed the draft board. I don't know how, but I think they think this guy has a high ceiling. He got great physicality and arm strength. Both of that stands out. He's very mobile, but he got fumbling issues and he lacked ball placement and accuracy. Now we know things like that is fixable. It's nothing negative that they done in college that isn't fixable. But they say this guy right here has one of the highest, if not the highest ceiling of all the QBs. Now that's just coming from a few people. So we'll see, man. We'll see what happens. He had 10 interceptions, and you got to think the conference, that he's in, that he was playing in. So, it wasn't the competition wasn't the greatest, but it is what it is. I think he can do better. And me personally, I'm gonna do more scouting on him, but this is a guy that can possibly go top 10. I think I seen that the Panthers was interested in this guy. Well, they was gonna definitely check him out. So that's just where it's at with him. So we'll see what happens. The next guy that we pull up, I think this guy is low key. I think I'm not gonna go as far as say he's the best QB in the draft, but I think he has the highest ceiling out of all of these guys. And I hope this guy right here is sitting at 29, Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson, WD, you want to elaborate on him?
Yes, CB, I am very intrigued with this one. And I know people are going crazy. Like, wait, what? Like, what? What y'all talking about, man? Look, this is a high risk, high reward type of player. I'm not going to say that he's going to blow up in the NFL. I'm not going to say he's going to be a bust, but I am very intrigued. Just his style of play, man. You understand what I'm saying, man. His style of play is what's needed in the NFL. I mean, he's a dual threat, great arm strength. His athleticism stand out. His throws, man. His throws are tight. The issues with him is his mechanic problems. He's thrown some interceptions. But look, man. When it all comes down to it, this is a dude that needs to be coached up. I'm pretty certain that what we got on the Saints staff, man, they might not coach it up at the moment. But this is the type of dude, man, that I like, man, because, I mean, he can extend the plays. He can do some things, break long runs. I feel like this, man, as bad as our quarterback position has been, we wanted to start Taysom at the end of the season, the way Andy Dalton was playing it, and we knew that they wasn't going to play Jameis. So at some point, I was like, man, you know what? As much as I don't accept Taysom as a quarterback, but I mean, as bad as everything has been, man, they should have put Taysom out there. I feel like this, man. If it's like that, man, you may as well have Anthony Richardson out there, man. So I agree with you. I wouldn't mind seeing him at 29. I definitely wouldn't. I'll take him. Like I said before in the last podcast, if not the last, the one before that. It's either go hard or go home at this point. We know who Dennis Allen is. We know what the coaching staff is. We know who Pete Carmichael is. We know these guys, man. You're going to either sink or you're going to swim, right? I feel like let's have fun. I'd rather have fun watching these games. If we're going to lose, have fun with it, man. With Anthony Richardson, I think it'll be pretty fun. Just like Taysom, I think it'll be pretty fun. I'd rather that than see the boring shit that we just saw the last season. That's how I look at it. So I'm all about having fun. If I'm going to watch something, man, here we go. let's do it like this. So I'll take it.
That's a fact. I see a comment. Shout out to Crest Fire. He said, "Coach up Richardson, good prospect." Brandon McGowan said, "Rich is athletic and long, but needs more fundamentals to improve his skill." Yeah, I seen a scout. A scout said that he need to work on his mechanics, but we know it's a lot of players that have a few things that they need to tune up coming into the next level. But as far as this guy's upside, like I said, I'm not gonna go as far as saying that it's he up there with Bryce Young them, but this guy definitely got potential. His arm strength is definitely crazy. Like he can launch a 50, 60 yarder. I mean, he just made that look easy. So the arm strength is there. The arm strength is there. When his mechanics, a scout was saying, his mechanics is kind of up and down. Like he had good mechanics, few plays, then he had bad mechanics. So it's just a fact of getting more consistent with the good mechanics. And like WD said, I mean, I don't know, we have the QB coach type of guy there that can help him with that, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I mean, you get them, and you never know. Maybe that coach will be in the room next season. Can only hope. But yeah, I'll take him. That's where we at this point.
Right. Shout out to him, man, and I believe as the draft gets closer, this guy's draft stock is gonna rise, just like the Will Lewis have, just within the past few weeks. But I hope it don't. I hope he, people still sleeping on him, and he's sitting at 29. But we'll see. It's a lot of QB needy teams that's looking for a QB. So the next guy is Aiden O'Connor out of Purdue. Now this guy, I'm gonna be honest. I seen him play the bowl game that Breeze was help coaching in. I watched him play. I mean, he played okay. I really hadn't been hearing too much of this guy. I don't know. Like I said, these ratings was from SI.com. So, I was just kind of trusting their ratings and taking the top 7 QBs from that and discussing them tonight, because I don't think it'll be more than 7 QBs gone after the first round of the draft or before 29. So that's why I took 7, and then we talk about them. But this guy, just some takeaways from him. 6'3", 210. He's known as a gunslinger. His stats: he threw for 3,490 passing yards, 23 TDs, 13 interceptions, had a 57.2 QBR. I think what made his grade so high by a few scouts is his excellent ball placement when he's not under pressure. But one thing he doesn't lack is he's not a scrambler, so teams wouldn't have to worry about that. He's more of a mobile passer. In today's game, it's starting to shift. So, in my opinion, I don't see how this guy can be among the tops. But I'm gonna still do my own personal scouting on him and see what makes this guy so high from this company's QB rankings. But yeah, he definitely, as you can see, 13 interceptions, definitely got a turnover problem. And I was reading one of the scouts that said it comes when he's under pressure. Well, if that comes when he's under pressure and he isn't able to escape, that's definitely not a good thing. So I don't know, maybe he just gotta start, getting better at performing under pressure, knowing how to still make plays when under pressure. If you can't do it with your feet, you just got to make sound decisions. Get him in the offense to where he got to make quick decisions instead of getting him in a situation where he's dealing with pressure. So maybe that can be the case. As as the New Orleans Saints, I don't want to see us select this guy. And it's no disrespect. If we gonna select the QB, I want him to have some wheels along with being able to throw the football. So I mean, WD. I don't know if you got any takeaway, on this guy, but
No, I do not.
but yeah, shout out to Aiden O'Connell, man. Like I said, I really don't know too much. I just watched that one bowl game when Breeze was coaching in. Okay, and our last candidate of tonight is going to be Hendon Hooker. Hendon Hooker from the Tennessee Volunteers. WD, you can elaborate on this guy.
Well, look, man. I mean, the first thing I see people talking about is he's coming off an ACL injury. That is true. That is very concerning. Even so, I would still take him at 29. I mean, if not, then we could wait till the second round. He'll probably be there. I don't know, third. You never know for sure, man. But I'll take him, even at the age of 25. I don't get why people are complaining about his age. I mean, when we got a quarterback that looks total dumpster fire, even at the age of 31, 32, 33. People need to stop talking about age at this point because you know where I'm going with that, man. But either way, man, I guess we can talk about some of his strengths, man. He blends as far as a pocket passer, man, pretty good, man. He does have a bit of athleticism. I say this, man. He does take a lot of contact. He does that. I don't want to say that's how he got injured because I think it was 9 contact from what I saw. But man, as far as a runner, man, he kind of takes too much contact. That's a bit, like sometimes you obviously you want the quarterback to be safe, but just as far as him throwing the ball, man, I will say some of the passes does sail a bit, like sail too high at certain times. But a lot of times he does play it safe. He can throw deep. I mean, his notable games is versus Alabama, man. You look at all the other good teams that he played against in college, man. He played pretty good. I mean, just look at the Tennessee offense just in general, man. That says it all. He's NFL ready. I'll take him, man. That's why I would take him even in the first round. Yes, you can see it. I'll say it again. I'm desperate for a QB at this point, man. It's certainly in the draft, I'll say that, because I feel like we passed on too many QBs in the draft. But just to be realistic, this is probably a guy that's probably not going to go until the second round, maybe the third round. People are saying the third round, but you just don't know for sure these days at this point. A lot of teams need quarterbacks, so yeah, it just wouldn't shock me if he's going even by the second. And I get that he has this injury. No telling when I've seen reports saying that he'll be back at a certain time, or probably before the season or something like that. But that's what they all say, like he'll show up before camp. Who knows for sure? But again, like I say, I'll take him at this point. He looked good in college, man. So why not?
Man, I see my brother in the chat. He said Hendon has high football IQ.
Hey, we gonna take him from you, bro.
Titans gonna need something at quarterback. But yeah, I mean, really, I think his age is the only concern with the scouts.
I mean, but why is age just? I don't get why that could be considered I mean, like, look. I mean, obviously, when you have a franchise quarterback, you're probably banking on him being here. Yeah, I mean, obviously, a franchise, just the long term answer, right? But I mean, like, come on, man, let's be realistic. Let's say if he's here for 6 years. He's here for 6 years. He'll be 31 or maybe 32 because I think when he turns 26 by the time the season starts, I don't know. But either way, man, it's like I don't see why that's a big issue, man. Like if that's a concern, somebody help me out with that because I'm confused.
Right. I mean, because you think about it, QBs, especially if they having a great career, they at least gonna take it to at least what 38, 39, and that's at least around. Yeah, if they having a great career, if
Yeah,
this guy
assuming they
come in
stay
the
healthy.
league,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good 13. He gonna be 26, good 13 career, 13 years. That's to me, franchise QB having a franchise QB, is at least a 10-year run, at least. But I don't know. We'll see, man. We'll see. I see a comment from Crash5 said he said, I got a feeling the Saints are going O line with that pick. I hope not, fam. I hope not. QB possibly Hooker in second round. Thoughts? I hope we don't go O line in the first round.
I mean, it pretty much depends on what happens with Pete, right?
Yeah, I
It
think
it,
yeah.
it definitely depends on that. Because I mean, really, you saying offensive line, and yet we could be getting a defensive lineman. That's assuming that Davenport is not going to be resigned here, and we need a long term answer as far as edge because Cameron Jordan never know when it's the end of his road here. Yes, I mean either or. Hooker in the second round, I'm all for it, man. Yeah, he's NFL ready, Crash for it. He's NFL ready, man. When you NFL ready, man, take him. That's why I'm looking at all these people talking about his age, his injury concern, and all this other stuff, man. Look, I'm desperate. I'm gonna say it again. I ain't gonna hold you. I am. That's just the truth.
Facts.
I
I'm
ain't.
just scrolling with some of these comments because I was reading some of these takeaways with the scout. Inevitable expertise. I believe I seen you say, fam, that you think we should do both. We should. Well, I know you want us to get Carr, so you want us to get Carr and get a QB in the draft. Okay, if you want us to do that, what type of contract you think we should give Derek Carr?
Oh boy.
Because I've done when I done my show last week, I believe so on the Derek Carr thing. You said he's worth 35 mil. So I'm just asking, if he's worth 35 a mil, 35 mil a year, excuse me. What would your contract to him look like? And you also drafting the QB. I don't believe Derek Carr is about to take a 1 year, $35 million deal. If we draft Hendon Hooker, the team would be an idiot to draft Hooker and let him sit, for multiple seasons before we let him play. And then age will become a problem if you gonna draft them at this age and let them sit a few years. Yeah, absolutely. But I don't know if he's still in the chat. But yeah, I just wanted you to answer that, fam. And like I said, it's no, I don't know what we're gonna do if we giving Derek Carr that money. This man better come in and damn lighten this shit up. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I'm gonna be riding for him, of course. But I just think we can go with one of these young boys in the draft. And I do want to mention, but let's read this comment and then I'll say something right quick. Shout out to AKA the scientist. He said his age is a problem because the older ones get the more their body begins to break down, and already suffering a significant injury is alarming. He's already about Mahomes' age. Body began. Uh, I mean, if it was a receiver, I could see that. I mean, but he's a mobile quarterback, so I mean that could happen to anybody at 21. I mean, we've seen guys that none suffer the ACL. That's just like the receiver that Detroit picked. the one that came out of Ohio State, like he suffered a ACL tear. I mean, I know he 21, but still, I mean, it just happens. It just happens, man. But with him being a QB, I think he in a better position than if it was another position at that age. But yeah, I just want to before we wrap this up, I'm gonna just give a list of QB needy teams. We got the Texans. We know they're gonna get a QB. We got the Colts. You know they're getting a QB. The Raiders definitely getting a QB. Atlanta,
The
Carolina.
Raiders getting Aaron Rodgers. Let me stop.
We got the
Oh no, you
Raiders.
know what? I'm being nice because I could say Atlanta could be getting Lamar Jackson. I mean,
I hope not.
I'm gonna throw up in my mouth bad.
I hope not. And I hope Atlanta. Well, Atlanta do got their the Ritter guy. So they might ride with him.
Yeah, I heard
You
that
see
before.
something saying they gonna ride with Desmond Ritter this year.
They're gonna ride really, huh? Whatever it is.
But you got Carolina, you got the Jets, you got Washington, and you got Tampa. Tampa could go with Cal Trask, but who knows if one of these hot commodity QBs drop to them. We don't know. We'll see. But we do want to note that there are some free agent QBs that some of these teams gonna take. Well, I know the Jets, they trying to go after either Derek Carr or A-Rod. I believe that's they two. And I just seen something that they also gonna be entertaining even more QBs. I'm talking about like the free agents, like the Garoppolos. So
Lord have mercy.
yeah, I see.
You know what? Please
They're gonna
sign
be
Jimmy.
doing good.
Please sign Jimmy Jets. Y'all do that.
Yep.
Y'all do
So
that, man.
we do need to keep that in mind. The teams that I know not gonna get one of these free agents unless it's like a Lamar or something like that. A-Rod, they know he not going to no trash squad. But like the Texans, I know the Texans. The Texans definitely not gonna get a free agent QB. So they gonna draft a QB. The Texans, the Colts, the Raiders. Well, the Raiders is a question mark. Carolina, the Texans, Colts, Carolina is three teams that definitely gonna draft a QB. You got teams like Washington, Tampa. They defense was solid. They had something that was solid on their team, and if they could just get a vet QB to fill in, could make them some playoff contenders.
Wait, did you say Tampa?
Tampa, you think they gonna draft? I mean, I don't know what they gonna do that with the QB.
Yeah, I wasn't even talking about quarterback with them. I get what you're saying. You talking about ready, like ready to take the next level. Get back in the championship. Just a quarterback away.
Yeah, teams that feel like
Yeah.
they can do that. That they got a strength on the team, and then they just a QB away to being competitive. Those type of situations.
I think they are. I think they're nearly in the same boat as us. I think they're nearly in the same boat as us.
Right. I feel you. Yeah, that's true. Well, who that nation? I mean, that basically wraps up tonight's show. Like I said, we just wanted to get some updates on, the latest Saints news. We all know about that AK situation. The AK situation is gonna play itself out. We been known that for over a year that something was going forward with that situation. Shout out to now on his contract extension. Shout out to all the players that's restructured and the players that's going to be restructuring in the future. Shout out to y'all, and we'll see what happens. An interesting topic that we should be looking out for is what they're going to do with Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas, if he's on the roster by March the 16th or 18th, he got a $33 million bonus that's fully guaranteed in 2024. I did read that. So he got a $33 million bonus that's fully guaranteed in 2024 if he's on the roster by March the 16th or 18th, whichever day that is. So that's something interesting to look out for. You know, if we're gonna bring Mike back, we're gonna rock with him, or is they gonna try to find a trade partner? You know, I don't know what route they want to take. I personally think we should bring him back. I think we should bring him back, give him another shot. As far as his contract, I mean, it's just kind of what it is. That's just how they set it up. You know, but do you want to take that chance? And you know, he's not healthy. I don't know, but I do want him to come back. But I don't know if the team gonna take that chance. But WD, you got any final thoughts, fam?
Shout out to the viewers, man. As always, man, y'all make this thing rock. You know, wouldn't be nothing without y'all guys, man. Thank y'all for tuning into our show. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. No telling when the next time we'll be on here, man. But yeah, man, I'm just very interested to see what's gonna happen, man. You know, even though I'm not too happy about the coaching staff, I'm not happy that they kept, you know who. But at the end of the day, I know if things do go bad, they ain't gonna be here that much longer. So really, I'm just here for I'm here to see what the players do, man. It's about how the players respond as well. It's about who we draft and everything. So, hey, man, it is what it is, man. Let's get this thing going, you know. And that's pretty much all I got, CG.
Thanks. And shout out once again Who That Nation for tuning in. I know it was a late notice, you know, the showtime. I had been trying to do this for a few days, but you know, just some stuff coming up. And I really wasn't trying to talk about Derek Carr. That's really what I was coming on. I was trying to do that part 2, but you know, you really don't need to you know, waste a lot of time on him because he's exploring other options. You know, so we don't know how that's going forward. But yeah, Who That Nation? Like I said, the NFL Combine is this weekend. We get to see a few things. I'm looking forward to the QBs. I know running back and stuff like that. There's other areas that I'm gonna be looking at, but QB, man, that's the area I'm gonna be looking at. And like I said, this is where, you know, the prospects, they gonna either raise their draft stock or fall with their draft stock. I mean, we seen that year in and out. But that's basically it. Who That Nation. As far as the next show, may try to do something this weekend. If not, you guys just stay tuned on content that's going to be coming out for the page. Just remember to like, subscribe, and follow the WDN Chatline podcast. Y'all have a good night. We're out. Who that?
For life.